Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion. That is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised. And this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul. And we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 336th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond, and I'll be your host today. And we are hosting members and support members of the Universal Council who are presenting today's workshop. So, without further ado, let us begin.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you for your presence as always. So, welcome everybody. This is the One Planet, One Nation, One Race. So, a very big welcome to all the beautiful souls that are created. This is from the womb of creation, and our family is present. From the seed of love, we create peace. The Universal Council is present as one. With universal knowledge being shared with humanity, and indeed all created souls within the sphere of the planet and broadcast to the universes of the Creator, the creation. The dome of peace from your core, the soul of man, a plasma field strength interaction, is part of the structure of creation. It just happens to be positioned at present in the environment of the sphere of the planet Earth. There are no limitations for your soul of man. And when your mind stops thinking the tick-tock of being, then the soul of man communicates the beauty of the Creator. So the sphere within you becomes the creation point with no limitation. We are present. So welcome everybody. Bring your beautiful soul, be present with the Universal Council. Know that we are here to serve and to give you all that you need in this moment. So you receive everything you could possibly require as a present soul in physicality and as a soul in this moment. And we welcome you with all our love and care. Thank you for your beauty. And I think we can now move to the next slide. Thank you, Rick.
Hello, everyone. Andrea is speaking, support member from the German community. Today we present again our wishes. I would say we have a grab bag today, a lot of wishes with very beautiful, and I invite everybody and recommend to feel the field strength of the emotions of each wish. It's one of the fundamental part of the Universal Council because we are here to serve. I will say a little bit more later in the needs and wishes together with Andreas. We, the Universal Council team, wish that men recognize that love, peace, humbleness, and unity begins in thyself. Unite your soul of the man and the soul of physicality, and you are a passenger of the beauty of the universe. Our wish is our command.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, wish that the knowledge seekers understand that the strength of the man is the detachment of the emotions on planet Earth from the physicality. Detachment comes by being available to be taken from in the field strength of the universe that it allows others to elevate.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul to all waters on this planet to be clean and in balance.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul to the awareness of humanity to keep his home, planet Earth, clean and healthy.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, wish that the feeling and understanding of the universal knowledge and the ethos of Mitra makes every human aware to love and appreciate planet Earth and all other entities.
We are present.
Present.
We, the Universal Council, wish for all governments to respect their citizens in all countries and seek non-confrontation, means of resolving problems, and use dialogue between parties.
Present.
We are present.
We give from our energies to elevate all women on this planet, not to be abused under the color of religion. These are our wishes, and our wishes we command.
Present.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul to support the soul for peace, finding its way through the elections in the US to be president.
Present.
We are present. We, the Universal Council, receive from the soul of the Creator. We share our soul with you. We wish you receive as you need. Be in peace within, dear created soul of man.
Present.
We are present. We, the Universal Council, wish within the soul of the humanity of man a seed of peace that elevates the soul of the world leaders, that in this moment we, humanity, are in peace as the Creator has created for the soul of man.
Present.
We are present.
Okay, next we have an excerpt from the video, Learn to Pray Through Your Soul. And we're going from the 8-minute mark to the 12-minute mark today. So let me share that and begin.
You can attain the levels of the souls of His Holiness the Christ, or bless His name Muhammad. It's you who puts the limitation, not your soul. And through that, if sharing of a body and a bread could reach 2.2 billion people on this planet after 2,000 years, maybe 1 million of us can reach a few handful of the souls of Rothschilds and Prime Minister of Israel and the people who run their country. That they open their gates of their soul to their body, that we find peace, and through it we find development. The maturity of the man has come when there has been equality. For years they spoke about the slavery, how much a slave they used to make the pyramids of Egypt. And now that documents have been translated and stones have been read, we find out has been very, very little between the top man in the army and the soldier who pushed the stones. Because there was equality. Because without one, the other one couldn't complete. Maybe it's time to share the soul, not the prayers. And then we can reach a point of 300-400 years of Rothschild financing wars to create money more. We give them all the wealth, but at the same time we give the wealth from the soul, not the physicality. If man makes history of the people who financed wars and created conditions for wars to be created, in the time coming you'll find out no one of them will reach beyond the solar cell of this solar cell. Because the life in universe will not allow them to pass. So even for those who call themselves the financiers of the war and the war, the ones who speak about the war, they start learning about the war. Till we don't stop the wars in man, in himself and with his nations and with his rest of the fellow man, we have not developed the structure to be able to join the universal condition. It's very, very strange. 10 years ago, all the Western nations were in a hurry to get to Iraq because it was a lot to rob. The central bank was full of gold. And today, the same nation is under more threat and nobody wants to go in because they already robbed the central bank. We might send a few drones and we might attack a few people, but the country is in total absolute chaos. Because there is no more money to rob, there is no interest because they know they robbed it. Maybe if we rob all the nations of all their gold, Rothschilds will not be interested in any more wars. I pray for your souls. All of you under any name of company or whatever you work under. It's not building a reactor to match the soul of these people to affect.
Okay, that's today's excerpt from the Learn How to Pray Through the Soul video, and we'll have more next week.
Hey there, dear souls, all around our beautiful planet Earth. A warm welcome to all of you. It's me, Jacco. I'm UC member and representative of the Dutch language. As usual, we find a comfortable position to relax our physicality. We breathe in and out slowly through our nose. With it, we support our soul with energy. And we expand our soul and connect to all souls working on peace. from the deepest inside of the earth to the most far corner of the unicos. We connect to Mr. Keshe and thank him for all his love for humanity. We do it through the dome of peace. In thoughts, we reach each other's hands to connect, to exchange our unconditional love to whoever is in need. We do it in silence. And now we slowly come back. Remember and repeat this beautiful connection of souls whenever you feel so. And feel free to take what you need. Feel free to give what you don't need, to the benefit of all, in the love of our Creator. We love you. Next slide, please.
And if you enjoyed the process we just completed, you're welcome to join us on a daily basis. And this applies also to the Brazil team, as every day they're doing daily intentions. On Wednesday, they're doing the elevation of the world leaders and creating that peace stone. But you can join. Doesn't have to be a meeting per se, but you can join in the dimension of energy every day, the Universal Council at 9 p.m. Central European Time for the elevation of all souls. And of course, this is a test for humanity. Mr. Keshe is asking us to start practicing this universal condition in the dimension of energy to give and take fields. In a way, it's providing a balance for these souls in need. We become, in a way, breathing love or plasmatic fertilizer, as I've been thinking. And we're going to play a little clip at the end about the air we breathe that Jalal triggered Mr. Keshe into talking to. And I know we've been talking a lot about breathing and controlling the breathing, and maybe this is a way, once we hear the video, I think you'll understand more, that we can actually breathe out fields of balance and love to our general surroundings. So we're learning how to work through the soul, not so much in this instance, reaching world leaders, religious leaders, other souls in need, that we can work through our souls and actually transfer energies. This is what the cups and the nano-material and the rest of this was all what we were teaching. As Mr. Keshe said, we're opening up the mystery of the matter state of the entity to its energies. We never realized we could work in this energy dimension. One of the problems with man is he always wants a physical confirmation. This is the habit of the man. But we're not really looking for a confirmation. We're looking to give and to receive. We're giving in this process on a daily basis, but you're also receiving fields. You're also being nourished as you nourish. And trying to reach world leaders, religious leaders in the physicality is not really possible in this day and age, but reaching them through the energy of the soul, to elevate them, is an instantaneous process. The fields connect instantaneously. The work starts, let's say. And this process just continues as we continue to pulse the plasma in a way. We're all connected, and this is the beauty of it, that nobody fails this test. The reason we're doing it collectively is that we all have different strength fields within us. And by putting us together as a bouquet at certain times, we become much stronger in this process. But the souls are so low that are in need that it takes a lot of pulsing and a lot of energies in a way on the soul level to elevate them. Again, we're not looking for that physical confirmation. We're just learning to give, and in that process, you will receive. So you become elevated as well. But this is the way we're going to bring the change, and I think this is the most important work we're doing at this time. We can see the world is continuing to spiral in a way out of control, but maybe this is part of the change. But you can become part of, again, finding out about your own energies and how you can elevate your own soul as well as other souls. So this is a dimension that we're not familiar with. Normally, we're very familiar with taking, but the giving is a little bit dodgy in so many ways. We've always learned to take. So this is a process, a test for humanity. It goes on every day. And I think you'll feel, in a way, elevated by doing this process, that you're actually allowing the change to happen through the work of the souls. And of course, we need to reach a collective amount of people doing this. And when we reach that level of the soul of the collective to bring the change, we will see it manifest in the physical condition. But we're not looking for it per se. This is just one of our habits as we live so much in the physicality dimension. So join us in breathing love and peace and calmness and balance and oneness to the entire planet and to the entire creation as we work together in this dimension of energy, which we're just starting to learn about. But I think you'll feel quite fulfilled in doing this process. And actually, you'll find yourself elevated in this manner. So we ask you to join us. And again, it's not a day job. It's not that we're going to see a huge change next week, but we're continuing to practice this universal condition of giving and taking energies and to elevate souls in need. So we thank you for joining us in advance. And if anyone else wants to add anything else, feel free.
Thank you, Mark. It's Dean here. Thank you for those enlightening words and your knowledge that is wonderful to come to know. You have been around the foundation, and you have the knowledge of the universe within you, and you share it unconditionally, and it's always a joy to hear your voice. So the Universal Council invites the Keshe family, the Universal Council family, in unifying at the soul level every day at 9 p.m. CEST for the elevation of all souls and the protection of the physicality in the universe. So those words, as we know with words, they can mean many things. And you can read into the words many different ways of understanding, your understanding, according to your own knowledge and what you come to know in your physical form, yet you know it all unconditionally within the soul level. So when we're unifying the souls at 9 p.m., and you can do this wherever you are, in any location, in any moment, you can just be still with yourself, and just for a second, because remember, a second in the universe does not exist. So it's timeless. So the moment that you put your emotion, your intention forward to create a plasma from the soul of man, and you connect, you open up the universal superhighway to your soul and all the souls that are present with you. And then you can share your soul with the other souls. Use the gift that's within you, part of you, in your structure. Be the beauty that is within you. Thank you, Mark.
Right, and as Mr. Keshe said, if it only takes 2 seconds to transmute, it doesn't take very long to send energies to another soul for their elevation. So we encourage everyone to start practicing in this dimension. We're quite familiar with the physical dimension, but this energy dimension, again, I don't think all of it's been revealed. We're just opening up the mystery. But you're part of this test for humanity. And of course, what you gather in the field strengths will also, in a way, dictate your next position of the soul in the universe. So feeding the others, nourishing the others, fertilizing the others with love and peace and calmness is our goal. And again, we're bringing it through the dimension of the wish. We're establishing peace through the dimension of energy, not so much through the, or not at all, through the dimension of physicality. Thank you.
Okay, next I'll play an extract from the 547th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, which was from last week, July 18th. And we'll be playing from 1 minute and 41, or sorry, 1 hour and 41 minutes. Sorry, it's from the 2 hour 28 minute, I should say. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Yes.
Clearly, yeah.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Keshe. Good day. You want to go early?
I've been up since God knows what time in the morning.
Okay. and really I have only one. It's not a question in a way, but a comparison in what you are teaching and what we get also from another knowledge in the environment. Let me put it like this. if we create a plasma, and this plasma will pull another plasma. Let's say when the father and the mother create this kind of plasma, and this plasma will pull another plasma from the universe, which is what we call a soul. This soul, what is coming, is have its own agenda, it's have own knowledge. A lot of knowledge here. They speak about when the soul attach itself to the physicality, it's have assignment, it's have its own way of knowing what is the position that it took. So it takes responsibility about what kind of family is attached to it, the whole information about the situation. Now, are we opening up to the real truth about the assignment or the knowledge of the soul, what we are getting? Because a lot of times you said, look where you are connected to. What is the information you are getting through your soul, and you think this is the way you bring it out, or you think it out, but it's in reality it is not. So can you please explain a little bit more about this?
We are creator, but there are others who have created, or they exist, which their field becomes part of us and us become part of them. It's like the air we breathe. I breathe the air now, and the air I receive, going through the cycle of how many animals on this planet breathe. The ants, the fish, the man, the animals, the trees. So the air I breathe is an amalgamation of their emotion, because they already breathed it out. And when I breathe it, part of my emotion becomes the air I let out, that the next person breathes part of it. In a way, my soul is continuously affected by every living thing which breathes on this planet. It's like a blood pressure. Why do you get a high blood pressure? Because the length and the volume of the veins in the body is fixed. If you heat it up a little bit, so it increases the pressure, but increases everywhere because it's equally everywhere under pressure. The air we breathe is not second hand, it's millionth time hand. So we pass part of the emotion up to the next cycle who breathes it. We pass part of information up through the same fields to the next one breathing. We are receiver and converter of some. But at the same time, we are a supplier, provider of the same sum to some another sum. So we receive, from the receiving, we elevate. Because we add ours into it, energy of us. Every breath we take, we change the dimension of the field
from parts of us into it. This is not philosophical, this is a fact. I breathe, I have a virus, I breathe it out, you pick it up. I breathe love, I spread it, becomes your love. And this is according to what we receive, what we hold, what we add to, what we give out. And it's like a cancer, it grows everywhere. This is why, partially why every animal on this planet kills. It's become part of the habit. One has realized it can be done this way, the others by breeding it become part of their emotion. And if you think of it with, we tell you take gases, you can replace the energy of the gas and killing. Why does it work? Because you receive that energy you need, you're changing the pattern. Partially we are born with, partially we bring in, but what we bring in is what is the gravitational magnetic field of this planet can accept. You cannot make a woman pregnant and inside the womb just one piece of gold, or find a dog, because the womb of the mother, the woman, has set to create human being. DNA has no meaning in it. If the womb of the mother didn't create the condition of it to become DNA. This is why animals cannot interbreed, because the womb does not support the field. And that's the only job he has, to support the field, to create a planetary system which only human structure with 4, 5 fingers and the rest can survive, and then it's the application of how it is. We don't get children coming out of the air and just that's it, this is my child. Where the process of Chidna created by soul come from the totality of the creation of the universe. The womb of the mother gives its shape of the physicality. As I said, one day I'll teach you, when you go to a scan to see the baby, you know if your child is a child of soul, or you know if your child is a child of physicality. And it's so easy.
Unknown caller.
And this is that easy. Then the soul, the children of the soul of the universe, soul of Mitra, have access to all the beauties of the creation. They don't need to cheat, they don't need to do anything, they just give. They walk and the people just fall in love with them. You understand? This is the beauty of their creation. This is the beauty of what they are. This is how life is created. Man creates the children according to the emotion of the man. Children of Mitra are created according to the emotion of the universe. They have access to totality. Then there is no fight, there is nothing. You will see when children of Mitra walk this earth, the race, the human race, if the animals fall in love with them, with the beauty of the soul, the balance they bring. Then we don't talk about they come, the energy comes from it. Once you create the children of Mitra, the soul is so perfect that it, with it, brings the beauty of the creation and the creator. And this is what is, what sits, what brings the pressures on man to change. And then we dictate. We dictate how much we have to give and not to stop giving. When you put a children of Mitra in front of the human children born by the physical condition, you see the difference. You see how everything is in it. When I have everything, why do I have to need to fight for? And that cycle is upon us, is with us. It's not something in the future will come. The day will come. That day has come. And we see more and more. Life will take a different shape, different structure. And it's not that it'll happen. Why doesn't it happen? It happens over time that the man matures to the knowledge. I was with a knowledge seeker this morning, and I explained that people are not ready for it. It's no use beating your head. The nation is not ready for the technology. And even the men of the nation are ready. They block it because they want to see their physical advantage for that. You will see technological change in a dimension that a lot of your knowledge seekers thought Keshe will never make such a move. But Keshe has already made that move. Because it's good for the world peace, it's good for what we see will bring the peace. Because the man needs to get a kick off the backside to mature. And then that maturity comes through the soul, and then it changes to physicality. I hope I answered.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Keshe. Do the knowledge seekers tomorrow will see the presence of Mira daughter?
Yeah, for sure. In some sessions, yes. We have divided the session into segments because it's easier for us to handle. And knowledge seekers all can concentrate on this, and we try to divide it into a number of groups that is short, sharp, but that's the way it takes a few seconds to elevate the soul and go through transmutation. You don't need hours and hours. You had the hours, you had days, you practice. Now we bring it into position. But hopefully tomorrow a new system will be in operation, which is non-dimensional. And it's only in the dimension of the plasma, of the strength of the combination of the field of the universe. We'll see.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. My best wishes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed for today. We call it a day, and hope.
That's our excerpt from the 547th Knowledge Seekers Workshop.
Just wanted to add, Rick, I know Mr. Keshe said he was going to release systems that created plasmatic gas, and this plasmatic gas would touch the energies of the soul of the others. And Jacko was reminding me yesterday about what Mr. Keshe said, that we would be able to, in a way, transfer some of this knowledge or the emotion to others and enlighten them. And perhaps when we talk about controlling our breathing, or Mr. Keshe is talking about controlling our breathing, if we're operating on the principle of the three wise men, to think good and to speak good and to act good, perhaps we are those plasmatic reactors. As he's saying, the air that comes out of us, we actually convert it and we add, or we elevate that the others would receive that. So by employing these principles within our structures, we can actually breathe out the love and the peace and the kindness that others start to breathe it in. Maybe we're the reactors he was talking about, and maybe this is the way of controlling our breathing, that we actually elevate the energies or change the dimension of those energies, that they go out and they touch others. I never realized that the emotions were also part of this breathing process. So if we're thinking good and speaking good and acting good, again, nobody's an angel, but this will actually cause an elevation of the planet. I know you talk about air pollution in a way. I know from the CO2 or the burning of fuels and so on. Maybe this is a way of cleaning up the atmosphere in the plasmatic dimension if we think about controlling our breathing. Just a thought I had.
Okay, thank you, Mark. And now we'll move to the reading extract from the 547th Knowledge Seekers Workshop.
Hello, this is Claudia speaking. I start. In speaking about the fields and the dimension and connection of the fields and how we interact with them, it brings a new dimension in further understanding of our, what we call soul of the physicality. It's the interaction of the fields of every cell of the body of the man with each other, which creates a line of information in different dimensions and different strength. That's their interaction with the environment of what the physical body lies or exists in, creates that transfers of energy in or out. What this means is that we call in the aura the field interaction of the field physicality of the body of the man and the atmosphere of its environment. But this environment is the aura of the man, the same when it swims in the water or when he is in upper atmosphere, or when he is in a normal condition and atmospheric condition walking. Or is our aura totality different when we are in the deep in the mind? What fields do we receive? What fields do we give back? And how does these fields in interacting and in a way in conjunction with the work of the soul of the man, central energy of the systems, creates what emotion? We know, we understand that inertia plays a huge role on how we, as a body of the man or an animal, we change our features. We change our physical condition. And in that process, in the interaction of the inertia with the soul of the man, creates an emotion of the interaction of the environment. This is something that man has not understood, and in coming time, we have to understand this, because this is the way we will react with the environment we live in. In a common language of today, we call it nationalism. Chinese are this way, Arabs are that way, Mexicans are this way. But why we haven't considered this change, this behavior, this emotion, which creates the behavior, comes partially from, or mainly from, the interaction of the field of the inertia with the soul of the man. In a way, when you look at the condition of the interaction of the soul of the man and his environment, we have the soul of the physicality, which interacts with what you call the body of the man, with the soul of the man, and creates a certain emotion. But when that individuality, that's our character, that's our characteristics, that's how we feel, we create our emotion. and we show our reactions. But at the same time, the environment has its own interactions of the fields, which in combination are much stronger because we are attached to its true gravity. We live because of it on this planet, which interacts with the soul of the man, which that in a language of the man creates the what I call nationalism, environmental emotion and behavior. Thank you.
It does not alone stand on its own, because we see this in how man then interacts with that emotion in another dimension, in a way where both the emotion of the individual and the emotion of the environment mix together or interact together, and their interaction creates a common denominator soul. That's why a nation behaves that way. We say the Chinese are this behavior, the Arabs are that behavior, because in that what we call nationalism with a nation, or what we call geographical environment, emotion, creates its own interaction with the soul of the man. Because in the soul of the physicality, you have to survive with what it is, with the interaction of the emotion of the physical body. What's in it with the soul? But the soul of the environment, what we call the inertia geographical dimension, has its own interaction with the soul, and at the same time has its own interaction with the soul of physicality. And this is what we see as races, behavior of a race, creed. And once men understand this, once we become mature to understand our nationalism behavior, our geographical behavior is the same environmental emotion condition, which brings behavior or emotion towards a religion, towards certain groups, a football team. Because in a way, even our emotions have the same dimension of their own interaction with the soul. So we get the Chinese, we get the British being a British, but they support certain football team. They are so attached to it. They show emotional, physical, everything else towards it in respect to the soul, because of the emotion to it. But again, when that team, one or two players of either whatever, what we call inertia, plays a national team, we move on to. We transfer the emotion of two. These condition environmental emotion in respect to what we call geographical position in field inertia will play a huge role in man's emotion, in manifestation, in space, in transmutation. Because it's not just manifesting in the shape of the person in the environment, but understanding the culture connection to. In a way, you don't want to be a lamb and manifest yourself in the middle of a group of lions. Mistake, especially if they are hungry. So man needs to understand the next step of communication, interaction, emotion, and in a way, environmental, what we call emotion. Thank you.
This is why in the teachings of the past, I explained to you, when you come, you manifest yourself, you will speak the language. You understand the language. Now you understand the reason. Now you understand the principle and how to create it. It is no use being the sole supporter of the opposition team in the middle of the very, what we call, strong-minded home team. Even tough, you might not agree with it, but you adapt to understand. You adapt in understanding, connecting to the fields of the emotion of the, what we call, the opposition. You find balance to survive. You find balance to manifest. You find what we call a compromise. This is why there is no war in space. Man has not learned in the dimension of physicality to understand, to comprehend the motion of compromise in shape, in language. So this is important for us. Then, as I said, you understand the emotion of religion cannot exist with man in space, because men of space, majority of them, have reached to understand the process of creation, have reached in intelligence to understand the workings of the system. So you cannot be radical Jew, Muslim, or Christian and go to another planet and become mercenaries to expand the religion. You will find out before even manifestation you're isolated. Before manifestation, the fields of the soul of the man will not allow the manifestation. And, as I always say, this is the reason why we don't see any churches, any synagogues, or any mosques in the space. And man has to solve this matter before he becomes a passenger of the universe. Maybe as individual, maybe collectively. In that process, man needs to develop new technologies which can replicate the inertia of the environment, the inertia emotion of the, what we call, geographical condition, the manifestation of the fields of the emotion itself. Then man can become a true passenger of the universe. Man can truly understand that he has a soul of physicality which creates his physical emotion, individual as a person. Then you have the emotion of the environment, geographical position. Then you have the other inertias, the field strength, which makes you to belong to a specific organization, a specific way of showing emotion. Thank you.
We've seen this clearly in the recent past 3 or 4 years in the Formula One, when one Dutchman carries the whole nation and literally half of the ground is orange. It doesn't matter which country you go to, wherever he sits behind the wheel, they appear, and he keeps on winning, because the soul of the totality of the nation as a soul within is part of the game, part of the interaction, part of the common denominator. It is one wheel, one racer, and the whole of it, the whole lot sitting in there. It's in common denominator soul. We see this in a different way with national football teams. We see it with national sports games. Sports is one of the most, what we call, complicated ways to assess the man's emotion and his interaction with his soul. And the soul of the physicality plays a major factor to interact with the emotion. As I said, it's another senses. It's a sense which man didn't know. This sense is not just the smell and the taste. This creates another sense for man, sense of emotion, understanding the interaction of the sense of the environment, individuality of the soul, soul of the physicality, in a way, the collective work. And I said, man does not know about many senses which exist in the universe. You smell it. You say it's a tomato. You smell it. It's a dog. There, this sense of the emotion dictates the man how to react in the dimension of the soul, in the dimension of physicality, or as an energy. When man understands the sense of emotion and its principal work in the universe, is when man is not blind to the facts and the truth of where he goes, how he lives. In most of the cases in space, you lose the sense of sight. The taste is not there because you're not eating. So some of the senses we are used to on this planet is useless in the universe. We learn about the senses. We learn about new dimensions. We learn we have to, if we want to be the true member of the universal community, which we are part of it. Those who come from the space to Earth, we see them as what you call part of us, have already accepted the change to fit in, but they still carry that sense of emotion that dictates to them what it is, how it is. This is the next step in evolution of the science and technology for man, to understand the workings, the pleasures, the functions of the new senses. Thank you.
When you are in the dimension of the soul, you have no physicality, but you have no age, but you still interact with the fields, create an emotion. That sense of emotion creates or dictates to you how to react into that environment. Manifest yourself, leave the place, use different field energy that it doesn't harm the others, but allows you to exist. In principle, mankind needs to educate itself to a new dimension of sense, with knowledge of existence, collaboration and cooperation with the inertia of the environment. Not all inertia leads to creation, manifestation of physicality in the matter state. The inertia of the motion, inertia of the sense are different. Doesn't have material manifestation. It is energy in motion. It is a magnetic field, which is in the dimension of itself according to the strength of the interaction with the environment. Decide how the way that sense of emotion will show a man. The dimension of existence and manifestation could be an energy form, could be a physical form, could be a liquid form. Maybe some of you, in some case, you have seen this. You see ball of lights in the space, in the environment of the atmosphere, because your entity has a soul, but cannot find the dimension of field strength to inertial matter state to manifest itself as matter. So it stays in the initial lights, and we see in the different shape or form of light. But inside that light, there is a soul, there is a life, there is a existence, there is a common denominator operation. We need to understand this process. We need to be able to comprehend it without prejudice of human race, mental condition, that we can become part of the universal community, part of the universe, which we are part of his community, which we have denied ourselves due to our sins. No more damage is done to the man by this sense of vision and the soul, because we become so really on it that we have ignored everything else. We have found different ways to explaining the existence of this. Something happens, but we don't know. We call it the sixth sense and whatever. But you know now what was the sixth sense is you and your own interaction with the other emotion of the environment, the other soul, and everything else. Thank you.
Emotion of the sense is one of the main and most probably the most powerful tool for man to exist in space, to exist, to travel, to be able to survive. In totality, the future of mankind in space will totally depend on his adaptation, his understanding how to adapt, and an understanding how to fit in with the field interaction of the place, time, and position in the universe. Does not matter in the middle of no planetary system, in the middle of the ocean, or on the surface of the planet. If you understand this, if you can comprehend it in a deeper way, if you create the essence of the love of the Creator, you can move, interact, emotion with the center of the soul of the Creator itself. There is no need for intermediaries. In what fields you come to understand, you release to interact, which decides your position in respect to your Creator. It's like loving the mother. The more love and care you show to the mother shows you. The more cuddle and kisses you get, the more inner emotion will change. How I feel about you, how I love you, and the rest of it. There is no difference between the mother and the Creator. One is in the dimension of physicality. One is in the dimension of emotion, of the fields. Otherwise, both are creators. One created you in dimension of physicality. One has created dimension of the soul of you within it. It's you who have to understand the essence of the soul of the emotion, sense of emotion, and their interaction with the others. And the more we carry on with this teaching, the more we go into depth of it, especially in tomorrow's session with the knowledge seekers, we start this process. And in a point, we come to the point of detachment because you're not attached to physical senses. You became attached or you become attached to the what we call emotional senses. And some of these senses, some of these fields are so strong that man can decide, I do not want to return to the dimension of physicality, because the sense of physicality of the hunger, the taste, the sound, the noise, the eyes, the sense of vision creates me so much pain. It's the day of judgment. It's the day when you judge which part of the creation and creation of totality you want to be part of. Does this bring a new dimension to your life? Would this bring a dimension of individuality and totality? Interaction of the soul of the man with the soul of the physicality, with the soul of the environment, interaction with the soul of the man and the soul of the physicality, and then we go to the next step. And then to understand the dimension of interaction of the soul of the man with the soul of his Creator, which he himself is part of. We are preparing man to become not only a passenger of the universe, but for him to accept that he's always been part of the universal community, not by changing man, but for man to understand does not need a change. It's just need to understand what he has denied himself. Question. Thank you, Mr. Keshe. You said in the past sessions that emotion follows behavior. Did you think today that the reaction of the emotion follows? Did I understand that correctly? Can you say something specifically about that, Mr. Keshe? We behave according to how we feel. So behavior usually comes out of emotion. That's a physical manifestation of emotion. If emotionally we feel in love or we feel love, if emotionally we feel in love or we love, we cuddle, we kiss, or whatever, emotionally we feel betrayed or lost something. We kick and shout and everything else. Behavior is a manifestation of the emotion in the dimension of physicality. Thank you.
Now it's me again, Jacko. And it's my thoughts and what I've learned from the teachings, the knowledge seeker workshops of Mr. Keshe. Do you remember the drawing of Mr. Keshe? The one with the brain and the spine going down? About 2 weeks ago. Mr. Keshe was talking about the 3D sphere of the essence, our soul dimension. And my thought was, how is it possible to get into that position? And also how big that sphere should be. Maybe to start, it would be better not to make it too big. So then it came to my mind, let's try to do it the size of the physicality. If it covers the physicality, that should be a good size to start with. The moment I imagined it, or was it the manifestation of it? It was like hovering in a bubble. I felt very light and bright to be there. Well connected and detached from manifestation of physicality. In a way, the physicality was not important anymore. In this dimension where Mr. Keshe is talking about, in the intro where other souls see us as a light, as a star, the connection to the magnetical field dimension felt very stable. And in that position, it felt like to hold on. So many different fields all around the sphere, and I was thinking to myself, which one is the one to the Creator? Mr. Keshe often explained, don't search in the bigger. Search and find him in the smaller, in the gaps in between. Know that there is no separation, as we are always connected to our Creator through these magnetical fields. You never walk alone. Our soul as a gravitational essence inside the sphere interacts with this magnetical outside in repulsion, which makes the position stable until we change it. Last week in the soul teachings, we were talking about conversion of the remaining 20% so that we finally can stop the killing. How we can reach the chicken to connect, to exchange. Do we really have to run and catch the chicken? Or do we connect soul to soul, like we practice in the soul connections every week and all the time in different meetings and every day at 9 o'clock, Central European summertime? Did you ever make available your essence, field strength, to the others during these connections? As we often say, we give freely from our soul. Dear souls, do you recognize that everything we learn in the teachings, everything we practice, it has a deeper meaning for us to understand? It brings us closer to the truth and the real reality in soul dimension. Don't be afraid to lose anything. We just add to the knowledge. In our sphere, we are in the soul dimension, and the chicken is in its own as well. He manifests his daily life dimension exactly the same like we do in our daily life. Bring your soul and your soul of physicality in line. Make them one. And ask the chicken for the recipe of the fields and rays that he uses to do his daily manifestation. Since there is no more killing, if we ask this way, there should be no problem to exchange. Learning about the spheres is learning about positioning, conversion, and by that about feeding. Because if the soul and the soul of physicality are in line, physicality has to follow. Mr. Keshe spoke about the capabilities of humans to produce replicators to support the end of killing. If we manage to copy those recipes of the interacting all the plasmas with the right fields and rays, if we understand our soul, our sphere, the soul of physicality, the goal of peace really comes in reach. We know that all the information of the universe is packed in our RNA. So I was asking myself, is the energetic source we need to grow that tooth or to heal that skin available in our sphere? Or do we ask the soul of the tooth to share the recipe of the combination of its fields and rays to interact, to multiply, to divide, or add to our essence plasma? And through our soul of physicality, the physicality manifests that specific tooth. Think good makes you speak good, and in the end it makes you do good, for sure. Good is always to the benefit of all, dear souls. We all breathe the same atmosphere on Earth. Our sphere is part of our neighbor's sphere. And as well as a collective, we are part of the Earth sphere. So we are already in it. Find the love of the Creator within your sphere and breathe it out. Stay in the soul connection, in the awareness of being one. And please, now do it all the time. Together we change the path to a beautiful path of peace. Thank we as one.
Thank you, Jacko. Next, we have an extract from the 454th Knowledge Seekers Workshop from 1 hour and 41 minutes. I'll play that now.
When I spoke about the shoe crab. Origin of the life of the physicality of the man is condition of the man. The origin of this earth. What happened with the soul of the man in interaction with another physical dimension which was matching the condition of the earth? If the knowledge is transformed and transmuted to the soul of the man or the physicality of the man, that's another condition. The race of the man we see today is not the only one. Initially, when the earth was created and the condition came right, there were thousands of men similar things. The one which was a stronger started dominating. And now what we see is men of today. Even if domination was spreading, he split himself into different color and races. So, what's the origin of the man? The origin of the man, the earth is from interaction of its own fields. But once you create a condition, the others which come in it, they can live within it. That's why a third of the population of this planet is from outside, not from here, because they can live in this condition. But they're not from Earth. As I always said, we have a beautiful Farsi word. It says, whoever has a mustache is not your uncle. Because all the Iranians have mustache. Then you have a lot of uncles. God help your grandpa and your father. So we have to understand that life is not exclusivity, but life is created out of the condition of exclusivity of the interaction of the fields of this planet. So where did the man come from? From Earth. And where did the man will go? Again, from Earth, because he's got the fingerprint of the soul of the Earth. You up to now, you looked at, if you moved to China, you look Chinese. If you went to South America, you look South American. If you went to the North Pole, you became something else. But you got to understand, the soul, common denominator soul of all of them are the same. But the creation is subject to the soul of the planet. So we all have a fingerprint of the soul of this planet within our soul. We have a fingerprint of the solar system within our soul. We have a fingerprint of our galaxy within our soul. And we have even the fingerprint of this universe in our soul. When we go to the other universes, when they look at us, oh, this is from that universe, in that galaxy there and there. That's the fields you produce. You see the separation. Just listen to what we said earlier on today. The lady saw the first light, and then the second light leaving the body. She can distinguish between the soul of the man and the soul of physicality and her own physicality. It's the first time we get it verbally that we can understand it. So if you see that soul and the second soul, that soul is the soul of the man. That soul is the soul of the physicality of the condition where the man comes from. And then you see the soul of the planet. If you leave Earth at the point of death, you carry that fingerprint with you. If your position as a new soul, as a new star, is in another galaxy or another universe, you carry all the fingerprints of where you came through the field interactions. Now, you were doing the tracing of where the man came. If you go to United Nations website or the other side, that they trace your ancestors, where you came. And if you done it, he came from Europe, he came to Asia, you were a black man somewhere else. It's the same way now in the dimension of the soul. Through the strength and color and the interaction of the fields, you attract back to Earth. From which galaxy, from which universe, from the rest. It's just because we didn't have the knowledge, we were not aware of it. Now we're aware of it, we understand. So, life of the man from Earth, it started from Earth. Man from other part of the universe, being a man, we accept them as a man. But in their souls, in the dimension of physicality, we can soon know where they are from. There is a beautiful thing with the new system getting built. Maybe for the first time we can disclose it. You know, we've said before, with a new system, we can create a condition of Earth in one, and a condition of, let's say, Moon in the other system. But at the same time, if we bring the man creatures of the Creator in one of the systems, they bring with them the environment they live. Is not what we control anymore. So we see their environment, we see what they're made of and how they operate. And then we see their conversion back into human body. A lot of travelers of the universe are in a black skin. It must be a surprise and shock, but in time you will see. Because when they came to the original source of creation of life on this planet, and not on this mutation. Go back to some of the teachings of the past 3, 4, 5 years ago. I explained this when I was sitting in a cafe in Ghana, when I saw them and they tried to hide behind the lift. We see the original races, not the mutation of races. Then you understand. Life originated on this planet according to the environment of this planet. Any other question?
Okay, that's our extract from the 454th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Excuse me while I get our presentation back here. And now we have the transmutation test with Andreas.
Hello to everyone. Here's Andreas, support member from the German-speaking community. And this is an invitation to everyone to participate in the transmutation tests, which are from July, August, September to October. And that we had on last Friday the first session of this series, and that are closely 2-hour sessions in very small groups, like around 10 people per group, which are organized by geographical positioning of the participants. This means, where are you from, in which time zone do you live, and those people who are together in one time zone are to have the session on a specific time. That allows it that nobody has to wake up too early in the morning or is tired. And so everyone from the whole world has the same chances to be awake in these sessions, which seems to be very important these times for Mr. Keshe. Yeah, and so it's important. You can register yourself on the Keshe Foundation website. You see the link on the screen, and there please write your country in, where are you from, and your time zone. And it's also, the teams are also organized in a way that no translation is necessary, or a lot of people maybe from one language group, so that only one translation is necessary or two. It makes it very comfortable, and these 2-hour sessions are very intense. This time it was not spoken much by Mr. Keshe. We also had the headsets not on the ears, and it was really just about what you feel and what you experience and what you bring home to physicality again. And in the next part, we will speak about a little bit about these experiences. And the sessions are every third Friday per month. Maybe if there are too many participants, then it's extended to 2 Fridays per month. But this time it was only 1 Friday. So if you are interested to learn something new or also help the Keshe Foundation in learning how the new systems work, the new adjustments in the systems, it's a benefit for everyone. Everyone has something out of it, even the whole planet Earth and all its inhabitants, and also the universal community, and everyone learns in that process from each other. And it's a wonderful experience. Thank you. We can go to the next slide, please. Okay, then I
Hello.
can. Okay, please,
Andreas,
Lynn.
sorry, I'm here. Would you like to say something?
I thought nobody says something. I continue, but please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Andreas. So as we can see at the moment, we don't have the presence of MOSFET. MOSFET usually speaks these transmutation teachings, and he's guided us and give us some beautiful understandings of how this process can take place for each and every single one of us. And for each of us, it will be slightly different. I've been in the transmutation process, and there was one recently. And within this test, the transmutation test, this time round, I didn't feel too much, but I felt that I went very deep and very far on another level without the senses, really without the senses of a human being. I did have a slight sense of a tingling on the edge of my tongue, and I felt the presence of others. I had the usual sort of experiences with some pictures of some faces and some people coming to me. But this time the transmutation for me wasn't so physical, and the vividness of the images of the others didn't show themselves. But I felt that I went very far and very into a different time, place, and position. In some of the systems I've been in with Mr. Keshe, I've been with the foundation for quite some time and experienced many different things. And it's been an exciting journey. And many of the things that I've come to experience in the physicality is sometimes very difficult to translate to people whom have not experienced it themselves. So in a time, place, and position, if you sense it and feel it, you come to know it, then the absorption of your knowledge is easier. The transition period is easier. And I've been positioned and experienced many different aspects of the knowledge. From the very moment that I first interacted with the foundation, with the knowledge, I remember being very listening to some of the teachings and being absorbed with the quality of the knowledge. And for me, I've said this before, it felt like a transmutation in that moment, because I felt it was a very big truth that resonated on many, many different levels. And I think the soul of man, understood this and transmuted me into a position that the other souls knew I was present in at that particular time, in that place, to understand a little bit more. No one is higher, no one is lower. However, we all go up to different aspects on our little journey, our spiral journey into whatever we have come to experience through the others. So the transmutation, there's many ways to do this. And I've experienced it with others as well, where I have had been in the tests with the foundation, and for whatever reason, I remember being in one situation where I was actually told that I was woken up. I was actually aware of something that was happening in the immediate vicinity around me. And the other person said that they felt and they sensed this other being, this other sensation of someone walking, and you could hear the footsteps and all the other things of the physicality. And apparently I actually came to a raised position and then led back down again. And then the next day I was asked, do you remember what happened and all that? And I said, no, I have no recollection whatsoever of anything that was spoken. And yet at that time when it happened, I looked at the person and they were speaking and everything. So I came to a realization after some moments, a little bit later on when I reflected, that I was in a soul condition. I was in a time, place, and position with my soul dreaming. What we say is dreaming, but the reality of it manifested for the other to see or to sense in the physicality. And this told me many, many things about the transmutation process and how we come to know it as we gradually become aware of the beauty of our soul. Many of us do this every single time we sleep. And many of you have very, very vivid dreams, and you go to see relatives, you see the cat, the dog, the fish, you go to see your mother, your father, the children, whatever it is for you. And you enjoy the presence. And sometimes you have very, very warm feelings and very deep connections. And this is when you're in a very balanced condition and you experience the beauty. Then, if you are in an environment that is feeding you or you're absorbing a condition that is tingling your senses, you may experience other things that are not the beauty. But that's an experience that is being given to us through different forms of communication that are present all around us in each and every moment. When you become present with yourself, when you actually sit back, stand back, or stand in the, as I've said before, in the presence of your soul, in that very space gap, in that moment, you become timeless, limitless, and you transmute in the moment. And all these systems that have been part of the foundation are teaching us the way, teaching us the beauty of transmutation. And where's it all going to? Where do we all end up? Where do we all go? Because the essence of the teachings are that eventually we go back into creation, back to the creator. So as a soul, we experience in the physicality this beauty all around us in our environment, and all the trials and tribulations and the love and everything else that goes with it. The soul, when you are part of that sphere and you're in that environment, doesn't know these things, doesn't interact with these things in the physicality. That space gap of emotion, that transition period, is where each and every one of us can be part of the bigger totality, the creation, the creator. And these wonderful teachings of Mr. Keshe, the foundation, and bringing this knowledge forward to humanity to become peaceful within inside ourselves. When we create conditions, the rubbing together of the fields of the emotion, and we feed it back into ourselves, We notice it in our physical body, and we create all sorts of conditions that we call disease and many other things. And so the transmutation point, this inertia, this beauty, this rubbing together of the fields that create a plasmatic condition. And when you're in the moment, when you are in total committed peacefulness, you can transcend and transmute and see many, many different realities. And that choice, as Mr. Keshe would say, is you are the captain of your ship. Where do you need to go? Where are you from? There's the teachings today have transpired and informed us that not everybody is from one position, and the fingerprint of the soul shows itself. And there are many, many beings present. They know this knowledge. You know this knowledge. You've always known this knowledge. Mr. Keshe calls it technology. We call it technology. It's wisdom. It's the beauty of the universe that's been present with us always. And it always will be. And when you are ready, you can transmute in this very moment. So the systems are teaching humanity to be peaceful and to understand the divinity and the beauty of our soul and the beauty that we have in our physicality, but the soul aspect takes us to, or invites us to, or allows us to be present with all the other souls as one soul. And we call this being part of the totality of the creation with the Creator. And this knowledge transpires into technologies that can be utilized in the physicality to transform humanity's positioning, so that we then, when we understand more, we can then step into the next phase, the next position, and become part of a much bigger totality. And that is our choice, our transmutation. We have, as Mr. Keshe would say, when we pass a condition, so when we actually leave our physicality, we go through a position where we have no choice. We sort of zoom off to where the soul from the others has directed us to be, positioned us, depending on the field strength of the emotions and the experiences we have. Through the transmutation that we're experiencing now with the foundation of Mr. Keshe, when we learn this process, when we become part of it and we understand the beauty of ourselves, then we will have a choice. Where do we want to go? And that's a big difference. That's a very big difference. So you can be part and you can play in the universe, you can play on planet Earth and do what you want, be unlimited and be in a position for a very long time. Or you can have no knowledge, and according to what you need, what you require, you can stay in position and then let the others dictate to you. So with this knowledge, with this transmutation, when we understand this and we use in the physical form, we use the emotion and the beauty of this transmutation, we can start to position and affect other realities, other conditions. And this isn't, I've experienced this as many knowledge seekers have. As soon as you get involved with the plasma, you're transmuting, you're elevating your consciousness, you're elevating your soul. And your soul, as we've heard earlier on, is part of the whole picture. So the air that I breathe, that you breathe. So when I breathe out, you breathe it in. And it's not just the human beings, it's everything, it's all beings. And all those emotions, all those different aspects of us that create within us, in the sphere of planet Earth, the emotion linked to the amino acids of the condition of our environment. The transmutation is, for each and every one of us, the point, the aspect of allowing ourselves to be present in more than one place in this moment. So once you connect these plasmatic conditions, once you actually understand the beauty of your soul and allow yourself to be positioned, you have to be peaceful. You have to stop this war inside humanity, inside myself. I have to balance myself. I have to be in perfect harmony, in balance with my environment, in balance. When I balance my environment with my physicality, as Andreas and everybody was speaking earlier, and Jacko, we start to then transcend and then align ourselves with the soul of man, that space gap, that eternal part of us that will always be. It's an energy form, can never not be. So you have this position, you have this choice in this moment to be the three wise men. Think, speak, and act. And when you align yourself to this, you are transmuting, you are in peace, and you will give to the others everything that they need, that you have a surplus of, they will receive. And then you will receive back the beauty of the universal family and all the souls that are present in the sphere that is present in the transmutation in this moment. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you very much, Dean. It's interesting to hear from different people how what they transmute back home from knowledge, from understanding. And even you explain it different than I do, I see and feel a lot of similarities. For me, the session was already the days before. I knew I want to be detached, don't stress myself with anything. I knew we were a lot of groups, one group and a lot of groups, and we all are connected. And also we are connected with everything and the universal community. And so I balanced it in a way for me that I go in with not really much expectations or no expectations. I just wanted to see what will happen, and also I knew we share with each other, and I'm open to share with everyone and everything. And when the session started, I was not very attached to physical emotions or thoughts, but still I had to detach myself. I just want to have love as a feeling, not much other thoughts or no other thoughts. And then after 15, 30 minutes, I assume it was the time when the microphones opened up. They just got very beautiful. And I enjoyed it just, and I shared thought on others, everyone who came to my mind, and I share that, take freely what you need. I wish you are also that happy. And enjoying was the whole session and sharing, and it was so beautiful. And then I thought, shortly I tried 2-3 times for a few minutes again and again to change my skin color, and I felt how I'm under the sun and how I enjoy the feeling, the process of getting brown and water. But then I never opened my eyes to see if my skin changed, and I realized in the session I don't want to force myself too much with thoughts and physicality to change something, and I just want to enjoy this beautiful feeling. And that was everything. And then at the end, I have a little bit problems when I'm in such a loving feeling to know where I wish to transmute to, because being in the energy state is so beautiful that I don't want to go to somewhere. I'm just enjoying sharing and loving and receiving love. And yeah, but then at the end, when Mr. Keshe opened the mic and made the ending of the session, I realized, okay, now it's back to physicality. And I knew already from a lot of other sessions, when we come back into physicality, that, yeah, we come back in the normal life. And sometimes, yeah, we forgot the love depending on our life situation. I mean, it's not like 1 year or 3 years before, but we go back into the physical life partially or to a big part. And that attracts our thoughts, our emotions a lot of times. And we are not in this full, complete, unconditional love. And there I want to take so much from this love with me as possible. And it's so beautiful, and I want to stay as much as possible in that state. And I realized that's the transmutation process from the energy level to the physicality. And that was my wish, how to transmute. That still, for me, it's no time, 4 days now, but I'm very aware of this transmutation process, and that I focus on staying in that energy. And somehow that changed, and the detachment from physical emotions, even there happened something which would have taken my emotions 1 week before, but I have just done it, and it didn't affect me. It comes now to my mind, and I realized this is part of the transmutation process, what you bring back in the physicality, and what is your wish. And there were a lot of other things too, but I'm not fully clear about it, or I don't understand it totally, so I don't want to speak about it. I cannot explain it. So that was my experience, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Andreas. That was wonderful to hear you explaining what your experience was. Because as we said, it is different for each and every one of us. And it's funny how we all, through the teachings, we know, we all have our understanding of what Mr. Keshe has been teaching us for a long time, the universal knowledge. And yet in the physical form, we all have our different ways of expressing ourselves, of experiencing things. You said you had thoughts of, or you were trying to do certain things with your color of your skin and everything. For me, I didn't do this. I may have a wish or an intention or something when I first go in, and then I let it go. I try not to think. I try to let my soul completely take over so that I don't interact with my thoughts. And I think that I did that this time. I didn't make a lot of conditions It's always the condition of wanting to be peaceful and to give to the other souls, but then I let go, and then I just, whatever will be, whatever takes place, the soul will guide me. I feel the soul will guide me and position me as I need to be in exactly the right time, place, and position for me to be where I need to elevate and where I need to find my position in this very moment. And so it's each and every one of us has a different focal point, a different creation point. However, the intention, I think, for many knowledge seekers and many of us that are going through these processes are the same. It's to be in balance with the soul and to let the soul let us experience the beauty of what it is for us, and not to dictate, and not to, certainly not to harm another. As much as we can, we always are there to position ourselves so that we give to the others, we don't take from them. And I noticed the beautiful souls that are present here. They all do this. They're big givers in the physical form, and because they receive on the soul level. And the soul level, as we know, if you're a being that's going to be in an energy form, not in a physical body, that energy form is going to be for quite some time, maybe, for forever. And so in this brief span of being present in the physical body, is it worth all the things that we do, all the conditions we create, and all the way that we interact with the other souls that are present? Why do we take so much? Why do we not in this moment learn to give and to let others take from us what they need, so they receive and then we receive back? And this is an understanding that Mr. Keshe has installed within the knowledge seekers, and it is a beauty. It really is a beauty when you actually start to do it, because I know Jacko and all the other guys and girls that are here, they all feel it, they all sense it, and I know they've all had their own experiences. It would be wonderful to hear from some of them, because I know that the beauty that is present within the panel here, and all the souls that understand this knowledge and have spoken it and thought it and acted upon it. It is a wonderful thing, and it is the elevation of the soul of mankind, being kind to man, as Mr. Keshe would say, and it is the most important thing. And with all the interactions that are taking place on the planet in these moments, all the physical interactions that keep us in positions. When we understand the beauty of what we really are, then we can then transmute, we can go to our soul position, and then nothing affects you. You in that moment transmute everything that you are, and then you can share and give, and you can be in any position. And it's very, very close now to the guys being able to physically move from point A to point B, not just on a soul intention thought, but then the physicality catching up and being present in another position and being physically there. And then this is the universal condition. This is the beings, the understanding of the universal family that are present with us on this planet right now and have been for forever. They've never not been here. They're part of us. We are part of them. We all come from the same interaction of the fields of the interaction that are present on planet Earth, with the interaction of the sun and everything else. We are but a micro dot in the solar system, let alone in the galaxies and the universe, and then the universes, the unicos. So for us to say that we are not part of it is a deep ignorance on our own knowledge of the beauty of what we possess. So be part of it, understand the beauty of what you are. The transmutation is within us and is part of us. It's the wealth of us that we possess in each and every single one of us. Thank you, Andreas. Beautiful. Thank you, Andreas.
Thank you, Dean.
Hi, Dean. I want to ask you something. I don't know if can you hear me properly?
I can hear you, Stefania. Yeah, of course I can.
Hi. Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. Yes, I want to ask you because I was present on the transmutation on the 21st, 21st to 6th. As we know, that is the practical of the theory that Mr. Keshe teach on Thursday. For example, on the 21st was for me was very important because Mr. Keshe make us play in such a way where we practice to from the physicality, you know, to go to the fourth sun and second sun, no, and he refer the fourth sun like the sun that sits inside us, or the soul of the man, or the central energy point that we have all of have inside. And the second sun is referred as the sun of the creation, or the sun that we see, and then he also referred to them as the first light or second light. Things about the session, he really stressed on the fact that, but the important thing is that you feel them. So I've been practiced, and one thing they make us do was going in and out, in and out, in and out. So it's like if you kind of looking for the first sun, so you start to be in a this is what happened to me, you know, as my own experience.
Hello, Stefano. Speaking of in and out, your internet's going in and out.
Was for my son. Better? Or
yes,
yeah,
that's
you
a little
dropped
better.
out for a while.
Yeah, last couple of sentences there.
Oh my God, it went down. Okay, now it's better. Now it's better.
It's good now. Yeah.
It's good now. Yeah. So we were asked to go in and out. So from physicality, from you as sitting down. I was sitting down in my case, and then I was going in. In my case, I was going in. I would start to feeling the feeling of what I perceive as a first sun, and then I noticed I brought some change in the fields, and this for me was the second sun. And then we were going from the second sun to the first sun, and the first sun back to physicality, you know. And he said, if you tap yourself or if you touch your skin, it's easy to go back to the physical state, no? So we practice, and I've been practicing this a lot. We've been practiced, and I really enjoy to sit down quietly, then look for feeling and sensation that I recall as for me to be the first sun of the soul of the man, or the central energy point. And then I go into the second, that it's the soul of the creation, what I perceive the soul of creation. And then go backwards and forward, back to the backwards and forward. Practice this a lot, and I'm start to really enjoy. But I'm very curious now about this transmutation. What you've been doing. So listen also to Andreas.
You've dropped out again, Stefania. We can't hear you. I think you've transmuted to another dimension. You're not present at the moment.
She said in and out 3 times and disappeared.
And disappeared.
Well, we can't hear you, Stefania, if you are talking. And Well, let's carry on, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose we do, Rick. So it would be wonderful if anybody else had some information on the transmutation, what they've experienced, or any knowledge they would like to share. If not, then we can move on, Rick. But if anybody would like to come in, it would be wonderful to hear from you. I think everybody's on another sun at the moment, Rick. So I think we can I think we can move on to the next bit. Thank you.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. I will practice as Stefania as just explained to us. And Stefania, if you can hear us, thank you for that knowledge. That was wonderful to hear. And I'm sure many knowledge seekers, including myself, will use the information you've just shared. And I know we will complete this mission in this moment. Thank you, Stefania. Thank you, Rick.
Hello to everyone. Here's Andreas again. We are now at the Bring the Needs and Wishes from your community to the Universal Council as one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. And this section is about that you or we all, every listener, brings the needs and wishes from each community to the Universal Council. And as we said already the last times too, there are so many needs and wishes everywhere, or especially natural disasters, for example. And we need your support in physicality. That's what is it about. We cannot go through every newspaper and search through things what are happening. Okay, we know the wars are going on, we know this and that, but we realize that there are much more things, and we would like, as a Universal Council, we all together, as we do it with the wishes, address these wishes. And for example, when I read through chats from the German-speaking community, somebody wrote something about the river Seine in France, and he hasn't written, he wants that it is handled in the UC, but I said, okay, he wishes somehow that the Seine is clean again, and we have to process his wish. And from this wish, from this river, we also made wishes for the total waters of the planet. And so we have direct wishes from the communities and wishes for the whole planet or for the universe, depending how we formulate and feel it and process it. And then together in this workshop here, we concentrate all with our feeling, with our giving part, that this condition of a clean river or clean waters on earth can appear. And we need us all together in physicality, that you write into your KF chats what are the problems in your community, in your country, or in other countries. Maybe you have seen something in your holidays in another country, and you bring it to the Universal Council over the chats, and then we process the wish, make more wishes out of it, and then we present it here, and we all together give our energy for the betterment of the condition with our wishes. And the more we are, the more we work together, the more we bring together. and the faster. And that's why we all have to work together, and everyone is invited. As soon you see something in the newspapers which touches you, you want a solution for it, bring it to the Universal Council, because the Universal Council also wants to help, but we have to know where we can help. So please send your wishes or problems or needs of your country or whatever into the chats to the Universal Council members, and then we handle it all together. And now we can go to the next wish, to the next slide. These are already 2 wishes from 2 communities. We, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul for the Seine River in France to be clean and in balance.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, support the Bengali community to overcome the time without electricity in health and in peace.
We are present.
Yes, it's Andrea again. I want to say also something. You can bring your wish to the Universal Council, but you can also create a wish and send your wish to us. It's the other possibility. It's so important at the moment. We are living in the most important time ever for mankind. We are in the transition time, in a transformation time from the cage of slavery to the paradise. And so it's so important that everybody create a wish for thyself, and your needs belong to a wish, or when you pray. It doesn't matter if you wish or you pray, it belongs together. And through the field strength of the emotion from a need, you create a wish or you can pray. It's a natural process from the soul of physicality and the soul of the man. And this attached also the physicality. And I checked the YouTube calls for our workshop, and I saw it increase more and more from 500 to 600 when the numbers are correct. Maybe it's more, I don't know. And I want to give you a little bit a guideline how to create a wish or to pray. As Mr. Keshe said in the video, you should not be arrogant, because the universe can understand it. It's not essence from the creator. You have to be humble. To be humble, it's the essence of your soul. What does it mean? When you are humble, You are not higher or lower as anybody else. You respect all souls, also animals and plants. And when you are humble, you will choose the right words for your wish or when you pray. Give your 100% attention in your wish, because your energy follows your attention. Have a pure and positive intention. What do you want to express? Then your emotion will follow the right way. Create your wish with words so exactly as you can. Then the universe understands your need. With the energy of your chosen words, you reach every soul for which is determined. When the wish is aligned with the divine source, it will happen at the right time. So you see, you don't need a bachelor or you need a crystal ball on your table. You had all this in you, in your RNA. You are a creator. And so try every day to create a wish and bring it also back to us, to the Universal Council. And in a way, in each wish, you should feel the love of the Creator. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Andrea. I don't know if this is the right time to say this. However, there was an image earlier on that it showed the 454th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And that brings back a memory of being present with Mr. Keshe in this environment. I remember Mr. Keshe was giving a lecture and some knowledge, and he was speaking about the light of the Creator. And in the physical form, Mr. Keshe was stood and the sun shone in this very moment that he spoke the words. And then he was speaking more and the light got very, very, very intense. The light around him was, it was this white, just incredible light that shone so brightly when he spoke the words of the beauty of the knowledge he was sharing. And I understood in that moment that he was creating such a beauty that many of us could not comprehend it and understand it. But the essence of what he taught was so incredibly beautiful that the Creator was most definitely present and shone the beauty all around Mr. Keshe, and it was felt by all the souls. Thank you. So, Rick, Andrea, would you like to read these final words?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, with our wishes and the support for mankind, we are here to serve, not to be served. One planet, one nation, one race, the Universal Council.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming all the time. Thank you so much. The souls, the beautiful souls for the universal family, because we are the soul of the peace. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, well, that brings to a close today's wonderful 336 One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024. Thank you to all the members and support members of the Universal Council who work hard to put together these presentations and bring them to the public. And they work hard both on the physicality level for the images and words that we see and hear, but they also work in the background on the soul level to bring forth the changes and the influence of the soul on our planet at this time. Okay, thank you everyone for attending. And our next public teaching workshop will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which I hold every week on Wednesday starting at 7 a.m. Central European Summer Time. And people are welcome, whether you're a newcomer or an old-timer with the plasma technology. And we tend to focus on the practical side of the technology as shown by Mr. Keshe, and sometimes with the influence of others as well in that program. And you're welcome to attend once again, 7 a.m. Starts at 7 a.m. We go for several hours, and that'll be Wednesday, July 24th. Okay, we have the Knowledge Seekers Workshop, the next one coming up on Thursday. That'll be at 9 a.m. Central European Time. And we expect to hear a lot more from Mr. Keshe once again. Okay, thanks everyone. We'll go out with our flight enhancement Spaceship unit music version as per usual. And as per usual, we wish you all a good day, and may we all breathe peace today. Okay, bye for now.